Hi guys, it's Harry here from truthandhonor.com. Thanks very much for joining me today. I wanted to talk to you today about, as you can see by the title, it's called America Today. But before I get into that, I just want to explain the first video that I put up on this channel. I put it up a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't a very good video, wasn't very well thought out, anything at all like that, and I do apologise for that. YouTube isn't really my forte. I love writing, I love getting down into research and stuff like that, and putting as much research as I can together and putting it out in a writing format. That's what I think I'm better at. YouTube, I enjoy watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, and I do enjoy making them to a certain extent, but I know I don't really have a strong point when it comes to YouTube. But I do hopefully plan on improving my YouTube videos and my YouTube channel. But anyway, you may or may not know my website is called truthandhonor.com, and basically it's about all the different things that are going on within the financial system, within our governments, and the different deceitful tricks and all the other things that goes on, and all these other big companies that have their hands well deep inside the government's pockets and vice versa, and the reasons why all these different wars are coming around. So that's what I write about at truthandhonor.com. As I've already explained as well, sorry, excuse me, I get a lot of my inspiration from the likes of Alex Jones at Infowars.com and Christopher Green at AMTV Media, Stefan Molyneux, Gerald Salente, all these different people and organisations and websites is what kind of spurred me on to make these types of videos and to certainly set up my website, truthandhonor.com. The reason why I wanted to make this video today, I was watching a video over at Infowars.com, and it just spurred me on to really make this video, and hopefully I'll keep it nice and short. I was born in 1973, so I grew up pretty much in the 70s, early 80s, were my kind of like television, my childhood years. And growing up, all the television programs that I watched were all American based, like Chips. Don't know if you remember that, the police program, Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard, Happy Days, and then there was some fantastic, American movies were coming out around about that time, like the Breakfast Club and Some Kind of Wonderful and Police Academy, and all these different things gelled together. Always made me think of, I would really love to live in America. America seems to be the place to be. It seems to be such a free place, but then there's such a patriotic country. The people that live there are so patriotic, which I think is very much lacking here in the UK, but that's a different video. And just generally, all through the years of me growing up, America was the place I wanted to be. It was the epitome of freedom, and it was the epitome of luxury living, really. But now, especially over the last 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, the thought of going to America, even on a holiday now, just really worries me because of the way the police state has had such a grip over the country now, and how the people in America are treated as not even second-class citizens. They're just treated as dirt. I'll give you a couple of examples as to the reasons why I've come to this opinion. There was an article put out the other day where a university campus guard, police officer, was given a compensation of something in and around the region of $34,000 because he had lined up a set of students. They had their hands behind their back, and he walked along the line spraying them in the face with pepper spray, all up and down, not just once or twice. I mean, this guy was going up and down. He was loving what he was doing. And these people had no way of shielding themselves from the spray that was going into their faces. And believe me, when pepper spray goes in your face, it is very sore. And it lasts for a long time. So this guy claimed that he had suffered psychological issues, and as a result was given the $34,000 or whatever it was. It was something in and around that region. It was big money. But nothing's come out about the protesters, these college protesters, who have, I don't know all the amendments and all the rest of it and the Bill of Rights and stuff like that, but I do know that freedom of speech is one of them. I do know that people in America and in the United Kingdom have the right to peacefully protest about something that they have strong opinions on, and that's what these people were doing, and that's what this guy had pepper sprayed them for. I just think it's a complete joke, and it's a complete mockery of the judicial system in America for this guy to be given that type of money. Secondly, on Infowars.com, they have a picture over there at the minute and a bit of an article as well about checkpoints in America setting up all over the place and the way in which the police are behaving whenever cars come up to them. And there's a photograph of a police officer with a weapon pointed, a rifle pointed into the car, and it's literally inches away from the face of the person who's driving the car. Now, obviously I am from Northern Ireland, so I lived in a country that was basically in a war for much of my childhood. Pretty much you couldn't drive more 10 or 15 miles without coming into contact with the police or an army checkpoint, and never did anything like that ever happen to us where a weapon was pointed in our faces. Yes, they were walking up and down with weapons and stuff like that, but they never pointed it at a person unless they felt they had to, and they would obviously have to have good reason for pointing it at you in the first place. Then the other side of it is I had to serve in Northern Ireland as a British Army soldier, and I never done it there either when I was holding the police checkpoints or the army checkpoints. To point the weapon at somebody, you have to have a very good reason for pointing the weapon at somebody in the first place. There are so many things that can go wrong in that instance. But in particular, if a car comes up and you're pointing the weapon in at the mother or the father who's driving the car, you've got children in the back, and the idiot officer that happens to be holding that weapon, if he has an ND and negligent discharge and fires a round into the face of the mother or the father, or possibly even shoots one of the children behind it, goes through the person who's driving and kills one of the children, how's the police department going to explain that away? There was no reason why that weapon ever had to be pointed in that car in the first place. So how are they going to explain that away? Probably just brush it off the same way as they brush off all the other things like the banking crisis and everything else. And it's just frightening how things are being done now in America and here in the UK. Now, in the UK, things aren't quite as bad as that. We don't have checkpoints where police officers are sticking guns in your face because our police officers don't carry guns. We have an armed response unit, but they're not the ones that do the checkpoints. I do emphasize yet, because it probably will come here, but it's not here yet. And it really frightens me, and it really gets me worried about how things are going, because ultimately, if America keeps going the way it's going, then it will have a snowball effect on here in the UK, because our politicians are lapdogs to the American politicians. They always have been. They love just doing exactly what American politicians tell them to do. And that's frightening. It's always been frightening for the British people to know that we live in a country that we just bow down and do whatever American politicians tell us to do. And that's not to say that I'm referring that to American people, because I'm not. I've got some fantastic friends in America. I think the American people are probably one of the best in the world. They're such a patriotic people. And I think it's such a shame that they have such monsters in government at the minute. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. By all means, if you want to send me an email or anything like that, you can do. The email details will be down below, or leave a comment in the comment section and I will respond to any comment that you leave there. Or like I say, if you would prefer to have a more private question or conversation, then send me an email. Thanks very much, guys, for watching this video. Don't forget, go across to truthandhonor.com. You get a lot of content over there, and you'll also be able to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links for that will also be down below, and they'll also be over at truthandhonor.com. Thanks, bye.